Welcome, sinners, to the Cinamen podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Nick. And I'm Tyler.
And today we're going to cover Alien Invasions. Independence Day 2 is out just in time for the 4th of July. Cinamen's Nick and Tyler have seen it. They'll have a review here. It's going to be good. What did you guys think of it?
Just right off the bat, it was, it wasn't spectacular, wasn't terrible. I think it was about exactly what I expected.
Did you like the first one?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And the first one is so good. I don't know, this one, it lived up to every standard I had for it, I think. I mean, I didn't think it'd blow me away. I didn't think it would bomb. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was definitely good.
Worth checking out, I think.
I think the first one was good for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of context behind why the first one was good.
But look at the time it came out.
Yeah, exactly. 96, correct?
Yeah. Will Smith is on Fresh Prince.
Yes.
Right. So this it was basically his start into his main career.
His blow up into Hollywood.
Right. I'm not going to say his main start. Obviously, we all know Fresh Prince was Will Smith's start,
definitely.
but this was his catapult into mainstream Hollywood, and it made like 800, 900 million back then.
At least I really
in '96. So I mean, that's impressive. That's really impressive.
Right. Adjusted for inflation, it's takeaway gross.
I
Either way,
a
lot of money. Big deal. Especially for a disaster movie by a guy who does so many.
That's all he does.
And only one has been the standout.
Well, that was his first one, right?
His
first disaster movie.
I'm not 100%. Roland Emmerich is the director. What he did, 2012, The Day After Tomorrow, 10,000 BC.
Which I liked Day After Tomorrow.
I did like The Day After Tomorrow, besides the fact how inaccurate all the science was. It's forgivable.
He's very much a guy who loves. I think in the movie they kind of joke like, "Oh, the aliens love blowing up landmarks." Well, that's kind of Roland Emmerich. Yeah,
the guy is great at what he does. I enjoy a Roland Emmerich film. That's just me.
If you're good at it, do it. I guess.
I'm not saying all his films are amazing. I'm not saying they all have the best stories on the planet, but his films are entertaining to the eye. To me, I kind of dig.
Didn't he do? He did Stargate, right? Is that Roland Emmerich?
Yeah. That's Stargate.
94 Stargate.
What was his first movie? Did it say?
That's Franz Man.
He's German. He's got a lot of. So he's got some foreign stuff.
What's his first main one here? Do we know what's?
He did Universal Soldier. Is the first one that I recognize.
The first Universal Soldier.
That's what it says. Yeah,
wow,
Universal Soldier, Stargate, then Independence Day, Godzilla, The Patriot, Day After Tomorrow, 10,000 BC, 2000. Wow, he's got some big.
Outside of 10,000 BC and what was that other one we said? Oh, Godzilla. The guy's got an impressive track record.
Yeah, well,
he's okay.
I don't like Godzilla, but he likes blowing shit out.
Yeah, and there's no shame in that.
No, he's good at it.
Ridley Scott said, Stanley Kubrick said you can do anything on film. Damn it, he's doing it, so power to him.
And he's back at it again with Independence Day Resurgence.
That's awesome. Do you think this is a movie that, let's say it came out not 20 years after the first one, let's say 5 years, within 10 years. Do you think it would have done better?
In 2001? The special effects?
I'm saying
definitely.
Closer to the original date. Yeah, I guess if I don't have a specific year.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, the earlier you release it, the more hype it's going to get, because the special effects are really good, but they're not anything spectacular compared to today's standards.
Right.
Like, I feel like Warcraft had a lot better effects, but they did have good effects in this movie. There's nothing wrong with them. It's set in a world where, the first Independence Day happened. So in the second one, all the technology has been updated. Like
with the alien technology.
With the alien technology.
They've integrated our technology with their technology.
Yeah, so we have hover cars now. It seems like we can get to the moon in 10 seconds now?
Yeah,
Did you notice
really?
that?
They have been able to repair the damage left from the 1996 event, 20 years ago. They repair all the damage to the Earth and then some with the modded technology of the aliens, but
awesome.
all in like that 20 years. So like what took 20 years to build by itself without alien help, we have now done that and more with their help. And we even have an outpost on the moon. We've upped our defenses, been preparing for this war.
And apparently some of the position... Oh, I guess before we get too far into this, spoilers.
Heavy spoilers. Sinners. Heads up.
Big spoilers. Alien-sized spoilers.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Or don't go see it and keep listening. I'm not your mom. But anyway, yeah, I guess there's like entry-level positions on the moon because they had like 23-year-olds working on the moon.
Yeah. Not hard to get a job there.
Okay.
Like there was one guy had a crush on some Chinese girl, and he started hitting on her. And was that when she was like, "You're too young"?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'm 23 and a half. Bitch, how did you get a job on the moon?
Who says and a half when you're 23?
We
Do
had
you guys
this-
still say and a half?
We had the same discussion on the way back from the movie.
I don't go, I'm 25 and a half. I'll be 26 in a few months, so, whatever.
He made it a big deal. Like that.
Okay.
Those 6 months.
That
half
6
a
months
year.
really, if you round up, it's 24. That's all you could say. Just almost 24 even.
Well, I don't round up until like a week before my birthday.
It wasn't Little Hemsworth's saying this line, was it?
No, it was
Okay.
like his loser buddies, like the entry level buddy, like valedictorian
This is-
from the previous class or something.
This is like the job that in high school everyone wants to have. Like, and I feel like in our high school it's Best Buy. Everyone's
Well-
like, I want to work at Best Buy. This is like their...
Kind of. It doesn't really say why he's there. Liam Hemsworth character is there almost as he seems it like a punishment. He like has beef with Will Smith's son Miller or something, Captain Miller. He's Captain Miller in this.
It's not the kid from the first one, right?
I don't
Different
think so.
actor.
I don't think so.
believe so.
Nor is the president's daughter is the same actor. I
Which
don't
is,
believe.
Which is weird because she is an actress now. Like
The-
she was
The
on.
girl that was the daughter?
Yeah, she's been on Arrested Development. If you ever watched that, she was Egg.
Okay.
Her name was really Anne, but they always.
I don't get how they...
And then she was also in Scott Pilgrim and Perks of Being a Wallflower. Like she is an actress right now.
And then with
I
this
think
other
the-
girl who was
She's prettier.
super mediocre.
Well, she was way prettier. That's why.
The new girl was.
I'm
pretty-
assuming that's why. Yeah.
That's mean.
Because she's not, and the other girl's not ugly by any stretch of
Sure,
the imagination.
right, yeah.
But Hollywood standards, the new girl was definitely prettier.
Okay.
She could have been a better actress.
Yeah, she wasn't great.
No acting in this movie is going to blow you away. It's definitely filled with the same lines you got away with in the 90s, like some serious like one-liners and things
What-
like that, but
No.
I feel like Goldblum was good still.
he's always good, but I think a lot of his is improv. I feel like it's improv. Like I
Yeah.
feel like they just let him tack on whatever like let's go faster joke he
If
can
there's
come up with.
any higher caliber of actor in this movie, it's obviously Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he's pretty much where like most of the budget
Catching
came
up
from.
Catching up on some of the characters, Vivica A. Fox is not a stripper no more. She's in
No.
politics?
No, she's a,
like med.
I
Like
thought she was like a
okay.
nurse.
she's
of
like a
some
nurse
kind.
at some
Sorry.
hospital.
All right, I thought the
she,
trailer... so she pursued that medical field she was obviously pursuing in the first one.
Yeah.
Healing up the...
Yeah.
Well, did Will
president's-
Smith's character die after the first one?
Yeah, so like
Well, that's
before
what I
the
was gonna
movie
ask
came
you
out,
next.
they released that his Captain Miller, whatever he was,
Captain Hiller.
Hiller. Oh, sorry, Hiller dies
Maybe
in
she got
a
the
test flight
With
like,
the alien tech?
Yeah, he dies doing
See-
what saved the
Well,
planet.
she probably
which
got a
made me
really
mad.
good. She probably got a really good life insurance settlement since they got married.
That's true. But what you said is
So
also
that probably
true.
put her through med school.
He flew the first one, no problem. All he did was back into a wall and, oops, some guy turned the thing around upside down.
That bit was hilarious.
That is hilarious. But then to have him die
Doing-
what he did in the first one?
Yeah,
Okay.
But think about people that die in car crashes. You drive a car every day, but that doesn't mean you're not going to die in a fiery car crash.
well,
tomorrow.
and it also didn't explain how he died. So like we don't know if he crashed the ship or if he couldn't
Oh,
pilot
okay.
in the first place.
Yeah.
Like
So
Maybe
I don't know.
some alien guy got a hold of fucked him up. Revenge.
Either way,
And
their mom is only in it. His wife, sorry, Jasmine, and
Oh, she's not
the
in
new
it a lot?
star's mom. No, she doesn't even need to be in it.
No.
She's kind of just in it.
For a
Spoilers.
returning face.
Spoilers. She's kind of just in it to have her son watch her die.
which was kind of brutal.
Which was kind of brutal and totally unnecessary. He leaves his squadron after the moon
Yeah, they
goes
do.
to
They
shit.
do the same bit as in the first one, where there's like, "No, you need to do this," and he's like, "I'm kind of a rogue, so I'm going to do whatever I want anyway." It seems
He's
like
part of
there's a lot
something that has
Does he-
the dorkiest name for
Does he
their
just
group. It's
steal a huge helicarrier like Will Smith did in the first one? Just
No,
right
he's
off the
got his
base?
own. He's got his own alien tech craft, and he's the captain of this. It's like Super Legacy Squadron something. It literally sounds like an anime nickname for their group.
Like
And
some
he,
superhero team.
Yeah, so they've been called back to base, and he's like, "I got to do something." And the Earth's kind of going to shit because this huge mothership just landed.
and it's way bigger than the first one.
Right, it's like over 3,000
Like
miles
when
in
you
diameter.
when you see it from space, you need a plane to get from one side of it to the other.
One
Wow.
leg of it lands on in the the New York East Coast. One of the other legs lands in Europe.
No, it doesn't land in New because it comes right up to the White House. It parks behind the White House.
Yeah.
It's like continent size, and it pulls up to the White House. I think they wanted to make you think, oh, they're going to destroy the White House again, and then just
Yeah,
and,
in the
literally
backyard.
literally the mounds of dirt being dug up from the ground as it was landing, like came up to the back of the White House.
So like 1 million at least people died just from it landing.
yeah.
Real quick. Does the White House look the same? The exact same?
Yeah.
Well,
mean,
I thought they had like
They have all this alien
The
technology,
house.
and they didn't think to just make it a little bit more
I thought
durable,
they made it bigger.
maybe?
They
Did
like
they?
added like a whole bunch of like steps, kind of I don't know, like
Maybe I missed
So
it.
it's a
pyramided
little
it
bit
a little
different.
right, not
Okay,
a whole lot,
all right, I
not
guess
enough to
I'll
make
buy
a
it.
difference either way.
Okay, these huge ships kind of draw me away from.
Well, it's just the one that's that big.
Oh, okay, still, I mean, but like,
Yeah, one
say
big,
you're looking at
one
a map of the
mothership.
Earth. This ship would take up third of the Earth.
I think that they
Was it
said it
really?
was over 3,000 miles in diameter.
Jesus Christ.
Now I'm pretty sure 1,000 is like somewhere like here to Vegas ish. So now triple that, and that's just diameter.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in the first one, you know the ships that released all the TIE fighters looking things, whatever.
Said it was 15 miles
15 miles wide. Then they go to the big ass one in space, which they don't say how big it is. But if that released the other one, I mean, you saw how big that was when they're flying through it, flying up to it. It was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These I like big alien ships, sure, but this stuff is just
It's a little.
it's over
it
the
had
top,
its-
in your face.
It had its own gravitational pull.
Yeah. They explained that these aliens.
Well, yeah, you
We,
see in
we
the
run
first
into
one.
more than one kind of alien. This takes
Really?
us into sci-fi. Yeah, like
Cool. Okay, I'm a little more
there's
drawn
like
in.
it explains that these aliens, the bad aliens that are attacking us, then and now, are just like a sort of a warring race or like out to take over.
What
They've
they do,
wiped out like
they're like locusts, which I think they bring up in the first one, right?
yeah.
So they've come back, and this is where I have a little bit of a problem with the story, is they're coming to steal the core. There's plenty,
They harvest cores for like their
energy.
fusion energy or something.
but there's plenty of planets that don't have people, like don't have any kind of species on it that you could just go and suck the core right out of, and nobody's going to stop you.
Like, why didn't they start at what scientists
Yeah.
want to call our last planet, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, whatever it is now? Start there, work their way up, and then like NASA could be like, shit, Pluto's gone. Oh shit, Neptune's gone.
Well, it seems like they have a grudge against us now because they were watching footage of the first one,
The aliens
in the alien, which was a little.
So they're like been grudging for 20 years.
Okay.
And
Does it say why they come 20 years later? Did it take 20 years to get here, or I mean,
Space is a big place.
yeah, I don't think it really identifies it, but they address that there was a ship that landed in Africa in 1996 that was trying to
drill.
pull out a drill and trying to like do the same thing.
that we like didn't see in the
Well,
first movie?
once we destroyed the queen in the first one, it stopped drilling,
Yeah.
and then it shut off
Right.
until right before it shut.
But they're
up again.
saying, oh, this happened during the first one, that we didn't.
There's
get
a lot
chance
of
to see.
retroactive
Okay.
story.
Like it goes back to the first one.
Like there's some kind of
concurrently.
telepathic connection to people who had.
Who've touched it? Who have touched the alien?
Okay, I was gonna say because Bill Pullman, and this is just from what the trailers look like. He looked like a haggard old like crazy man with a beard.
He starts having like bad dreams because he's been touched by the aliens.
Which one was he?
He was President Whitmore.
Old
Well, the
president,
thing
yeah.
just got in his mind, right? It was around Dr. Oaken's neck, and he was like, "Release me."
Yeah.
They did the exact same bit in this one.
with the president.
Yeah, he like. Was
Wait,
it
who
the
is the
president?
president in this one?
It's a female president. She's a character actor.
Okay, yeah.
She's like the mom and stepfather
Hillary,
or whatever.
you know.
Basically Hillary Clinton. Yeah. So she.
Okay.
So she.
Yeah.
Does she make a bunch of bad decisions and delete emails, or
No, no.
Oh,
Well,
shots fired.
by the aliens?
no. She just. I don't know. She's an of the people person, but
Okay.
She's fine. She's really not as important as the other president is still more important in this movie than she is.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And
Is
then what's his name with the long hair?
Dr. Oaken?
Dr. Oaken
Wakes
yeah.
up.
He turns out he's been in a 20-year coma.
That was
20 years.
Yeah, he was down dead.
What?
They unplug our asses after like 6 months, and this guy gets 20 years. He comes back to life because the aliens are like near, and he's like psychically
So it
linked.
like triggered it, like jump
Yeah,
started.
Sort of, yeah. But
I'm
he like
assuming-
shows up, 20 years.
All
Didn't,
right, I'll buy
didn't
it, I
have to
guess.
shave. That hair's still growing free and wild.
Well,
he,
yeah.
he instantly like he has no speech loss. He remembers how to walk. He remembers how to run.
Yeah, the first
He
thing
can
he
do
says
anything.
is, "Did we win?" Yeah, but bad news, buddy. They're back.
Yeah,
You
And bigger and badder.
You slept through world peace for 20 years, and now
and he
And
lives.
That's another thing. The world has been completely in sync for the last 20 years, but if you really think about it, like people get over stuff in like a week now. So like Facebook would have had some postings about world peace, and then we'd be back to hating each other
Yeah,
again. You know,
the Twitter sphere would have blown up, and then it would have just subsided. And that's
Going a little sideways off what you just said there. Obviously, if alien technology is on our Earth, there's obviously going to be people out there using it for bad things. Do they hint at that? Like, yeah, we've also Earth's defenses have increased, or are they just like the world is united under this?
No, it's like literally the world is united.
Okay,
It's like she talks about how there's been no war.
Yeah, it's
Since
been
then,
completely peaceful since then.
We've identified that we need to unify
Because there are bigger threats.
Because there are bigger threats
beyond our
right.
borders. Okay.
And they've been preparing, like I said. They know they're on their way back.
Which I think some like basic world peace may have held over, in reality, but someone is going to get too big for their britches.
The Castros and the Trumps and all the other like idiots out there that want to conquer the next land or whatever.
Cool. Does this set up for a sequel?
Yeah.
I thought Roland Emmerich said in an interview if he did a third one, he'd want to take it to space.
It's been announced according to IMDb.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he talked about he wanted to film these two back to back, right?
I don't know.
But I think they were like, let's just without Will Smith, let's just take it one movie at a time.
Well, heavy spoilers right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to say it again, so just be prepared, sinners. But we are taking the fight to them now, I believe.
Yeah.
It says it at the end. Like,
They know, like, the other alien races I mentioned earlier, there's like a whole planet of like refugee alien races that are survivors from this badass alien race that we see.
That's kind of cool when you
and so one of them is like this.
That's awesome.
One of them is like a freaking like orb, like a bolt orb that's like gigantic and stark white.
So I guess if we bring you back to the beginning, the orb shows up. This big orb shows up, right? That was towards the beginning.
In his spaceship.
And Jeff Goldblum's like, well, wait a minute, guys. Let's see what it has to say, because it's not the same, right? It's clearly a different race or species or ship or whatever. And the humans are all like, blow it up, right?
We waited last time and it attacked us, so
I think we blow it up here.
Yeah.
You know. So then we like blow it up, and the humans are like, yeah, woo, aliens are gone, right? And then of course the big ship shows up, and then
the actual threat,
the 3,000 mile wide.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they recover from the crash site of the first orb because they scanned it. And they said there's no sign of life, so just ignore it. And one of the kids on the moon was like, "No, we're gonna go check it out because I'm a rebel and I do that. And This is Independence Day."
He flies from the moon to Earth, picks up Goldblum, and then flies back to the moon. Like, I did just steal this military hardware here.
Quick. We can travel to the moon quick now.
Yeah, it's fast.
Okay.
So then they go to the wreckage site and find. Was it a small? Did they ever explain that? Was it a smaller orb? Was it the same thing, just damaged, or
it was. I think just the creature controlling the ship that was shot out.
Uh-huh.
So it's like it's probably like human height, but obviously it's completely circumferent.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
circle? Yeah. It's
So they recover it. They like crack open its case, and this alien explains that he's abandoned his biological form.
I don't think they cracked open his case. One of the guys went and touched it, and it like absorbed its hands.
Well, he had to use the Oaken laser to get into its case.
Did they?
Hold on.
So-
Do you say Oaken laser?
Yeah, turns out he's got like a super advanced laser that he's had for 20 years.
That's awesome.
It's just like on the top shelf in an Ark Covenant like warehouse type.
This sounds like a weapon out of Destiny, but okay.
Right.
I remember what you're talking
Okay,
about.
yeah, go on.
They get into it like it's capsule or whatever. The orb, one guy like touches it, it reacts to like biological flesh or something.
It scans us to make sure we're a different biological makeup than the aliens that are attacking us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And once it's confirmed that, it's like starts talking in its robot voice, and it tells us that it's given up its biological life forms a long time ago, so they're all digital now. Like I don't know if they upload their consciousness or if
I guess so, yeah. They transmit that shit back and forth.
they're robots now, basically. So,
But he's the last of his race.
yeah, something like that.
And he's from that planet of refugees, and like he's here to like ally with us, and he explains that, but we shot him.
It was kind of, he did mention that. Like, I showed up to help you, and you guys just shot me.
So it was like typical, like we had to, and it was like they had to ask the whole like Security Council of the world, like, what do we do? What do we do? And Madam President's like,
Yeah.
we attack.
Because we're so important. The United
Yeah.
States is so important that we get to decide who attacks, you know?
Okay.
Seems
All
like we
right.
have an overinflated ego.
But overall, I enjoyed it. I liked it more than like I said, I thought I was.
It was
going
a fun
to.
movie.
No amazing performances to
Right.
speak of.
And the first one is so good for what it is.
Well, like,
It's-
even if you think about, to me, the part that kind of gave me goosebumps was like when he's like, you know, tell my kids I love them, and he like drove in, like did
Yeah.
the suicide bomber into the alien ship. It was like, you know,
up yours.
The crazy drunk loser.
oh yeah, hey
Mic
guys,
drop before he
I'm
explodes.
back.
Yeah.
You know,
Independence Day their characters had redeeming, like real. You got attached to them.
Yeah.
Like when that one, and when Bill Pullman gave his speech.
Yeah.
But 4th of July, I was like,
The speech that's
I
like...
could kill a fucking alien right now. Like,
Yeah.
They use that
that's
speech...
so empowering.
The aliens play it all over in the beginning as like this motivates us now to attack you because
Yeah.
you gave such a motivational speech to them to attack us. So it's like on loop, and they've been blowing it all over the trailers. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
And this one, like I said, Bill Pullman is the like kamikaze guy, and he flies in like a...
Yeah, they redo
In
the
the words
kamikaze
of
thing.
Planet Earth, Happy
With
4th
Bill
of
Pullman doing
July.
it?
Yeah, so they asked for volunteers.
To
And then-
kamikaze or just to fly?
to kamikaze.
Okay.
Which is
All right.
something I thought we were all against after 9/11, but apparently we've forgotten.
At least they didn't like draft.
I remember.
Their soldiers.
I remember people saying never forget, but apparently we forgot.
Like,
Yeah.
pick straws, guys. Who wants a kamikaze?
So, there's this big to do about the president's daughter. I'll go. Let it be me. And then he's like, "No, I'll go."
Yeah. And
It's
it
like,
becomes
clearly
like
he
daddy
goes.
versus daughter.
She's
Okay.
young and bright, and she works at the White House, and
Yeah, she's also like early 20s and works like with the president.
yeah.
And I'm like, what did you do to get this job?
Yeah.
So she
Well, obviously her dad was the president.
even goes to like her dad's like bodyguard, and she's like, don't let him on. And he's like, totally. And then he totally pulls his daughter aside later, and says like, he asked me as a friend and a father, and I had to let him do it. She's like, what? No, he totally went without me. But then she ends up like
helping, but
flying like with him because she's a fucking pilot too.
and he's like, "Cover me." What did he call her? Yeah, why is she a pilot?
Yeah, she's like a pilot
Now that
and
you
like a
mention that-
diplomat. She can do it all apparently.
Now that you mention that, and like they said something about her being in the White House in her early 20s, and she's like, "Yeah, but it's not as good as when I lived here." you know?
So she's the president's daughter. Like,
Okay.
wow, check us out.
I lived here, now I work here. That's
Yeah.
depressing.
Trivia for you.
Yeah. So
Like if
was
I moved out of
what?
this house and then
Could've went to
got
any
hired to work at
any
this house,
government
it'd be such a weird
establishment,
thing.
and she chose the White House.
Okay.
So yeah,
Just couldn't let it go.
And then there's this weird rivalry between Will Smith's son and
and Liam Hemsworth. Yeah, they like have a budding or a brewing like
What's it like? Top Gun. Like
War.
Top Gun. They're both the best combat pilots, and
they were having some kind of
having like a dick measuring contest.
they were yeah
sort of and like boot camp though.
they were like it
And-
was like a training exercise, and they're like, "I'm gonna get there first," and the other guy's like, "No, I'm gonna get there first," and then one kind of got bumped and had to
Yeah,
use the
he
ejector
literally-
seat.
yeah, and that was it.
Yeah,
That's all we see, and that's all we go off of. And so, like, it's been some time, and Captain Hiller, like, punches him as soon as he gets to the moon. He's like, that's what happened. And Liam Hemsworth has to be, like, the jockey kind of guy, like, well, maybe I deserved that, but nothing happened to your comrade, whatever, to avoid trouble. He takes the blame and, like, all this kind of shit.
Does
it was a
Liam
little forced.
Hemsworth live?
Yes.
I believe
He
so.
lives, president's daughter, their thing. So,
Okay.
like,
Okay. So
so-
he is Bill Pullman's future son-in-law.
yeah, and he's been in trouble for, like, he's the one that goes like leaves his squad, goes pick up Jeff Goldblum. He's done this before. Like he just goes rogue whenever he wants to.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of.
All right.
Do you think it's better than the first one though? Did you like it better than?
I've been trying to think about that all day, and I'd say the first one's better because it has a lot of cultural significance. A lot of nostalgia, a lot of
Will Smith's definitely better.
yes. Will Smith was great, and I think without him it wasn't as great.
I think he chose wisely to not.
I think
participate
he would have
in this
been.
one.
I think he would have been fine in the movie.
I also think the first one is better. I did enjoy the second one. I do think the first one's better though.
I think he would have done this had it been made not 20 years.
Yeah.
So far after the first
In
one.
the scenario you gave, if it had been 4 or 5 years or whatever in normal sequel time, I do think Will Smith would have done it. And I know that there were 2 versions floating around of this movie. When they were talking
Right.
about the sequel, they were like, we wrote one in case Will doesn't want to do this, and we wrote one in case he does. So I wonder what that would have been like, what those differences would have been.
Well, I think if you would have made the movie earlier, you would have needed a different storyline. Because it
Well, no doubt, yeah. That's what the changes I want to know, too. Like
with
what came with that.
the addition of the alien technology, humans were using it. I think that's a cool way to go, especially if you're going to do the sequel so much later, to see how the world is different from the way that it is for us. One thing that bugged me about that though was when the aliens were shooting at us, our ships didn't have the shields. So you developed the hyperdrive, you developed all this flying technology, but for some reason we don't get the shields.
You didn't
Yeah.
replicate the one thing that stopped the first movie from being an hour long to 2.5.
That's true.
Come on.
The shields is something I actually had a problem with. So I understand why the ships have shields, right? Like
Correct.
it's controlled inside. In fact, the only way to take them down was to get inside and kill
Plant
the control.
the virus that somehow we knew how to like put a virus in alien technology.
You literally had to like stick it up their ass.
So old
like no,
President,
you didn't need time to like learn their programming
old
language.
Bill
and-
Pullman, President Whitmore, like sacrifices himself. The Queen has like her own like pod in the ship that she's using to locate this other orb alien thing, and they blow it up inside this like energy field, and they think it's over. Queen busts out. Turns out it's not. Round 3, I guess, at this point.
Well, what's cool is the Queen is a very large version
Right.
of the aliens, and it is cool, I think.
Yeah, she actually looked really good. Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
she
straight
was
out of,
running
like, an
around, and
Abrams
she had the
film.
like tentacles behind her, and like I thought the Queen was a great addition, but I think I know where you're going with this. Was that
she had her own shield, which is like another
Around
like,
her body?
Yeah.
like the green aura shield, which is another like okay, I'll even give you that. But she has the only shield that like normal fire from the weapons penetrate. Like they just knock it down like no big deal.
But it is the plasma weapons, like the
I mean, I
the
guess,
energy
but
weapons that
we have never once broken a shield, even on the little ships. We had to
Right.
blow them up due to impact, or we had to get inside the mothership and nuke. it.
exactly. So it's like
Little baby ships are shooting the giant queen,
Yeah,
and then
there's-
like her shield just goes off, and then they're like,
wasn't
oh,
it
she's
the
open
president's
for-
daughter that knocked down the shield?
Yeah, of course. So like she's finally open for like Target, and they like take her down. End of the movie celebration. But it was one of those like what?
There's
You
a
don't
l-
just get to take her shield down without the others.
How
There's
big
a
is she?
lot of what?
She's like Cloverfield size. Like she's
No
huge.
shit.
She's
big.
massive.
No,
Oh, man.
she's a little smaller. I don't know. She's pretty
But
big.
I mean, like,
yeah, she's
like,
massive.
building size.
Yeah, easily.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm thinking like, oh, she's like the queen from Aliens. She's like 8, 9, 10 feet tall, whatever. But
Nah,
no,
she's
she
bigger than
is
that.
several.
Well, even in
stories.
AVP, they were taller. It was taller than that, and she's just a queen amongst others. Like they explain that if they take this queen down, her ship will just be recalled and like
Wow.
like possessed or whatever, like IRS style by other queens that are out there. And they don't really get into that too much other than that. But I was like, okay, so there's a whole bunch of these guys.
They definitely tried to add a deep background.
He gave
and
it some
mythos.
lore. Right.
Yeah, that's right. He gave it some lore to this, and that's really cool. I give him serious props for doing that. If you're gonna go balls out on something, hey, make it arguably your best film.
Well, one thing I wasn't super excited about was there was so many repeating themes in this one that were in the first one, like big huge alien doors about to shut, and somehow the ships just managed to slide right through.
He tried to make everything that was awesome about the first one and bring it to this one. And maybe it's like he was thinking, oh, it's been 20 years. They won't do that. But it's like those are now cliche. Those are in every movie. So you don't need to do that stuff. You
Well,
need to give us something new.
If you notice, the things that we are praising about this movie are not the things that were repeated from the first one. It's everything original and different about this movie that was good.
Right.
So that's why we're saying it's not as groundbreaking, but it is still a fun movie.
Yeah, the effects look good. It sounds good.
It's a
but
popcorn movie.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
Okay, I can dig that.
That's good.
Now, Sinners also diving into Alien Invasion. We didn't just watch Alien or Independence Day. That'd be crazy. So we watched. I don't know. What do you guys want to dive into first?
One of my favorites, Signs.
I like Signs a lot.
Science is good, and I remember we got taken to that as kids to that in theaters,
Yeah, I believe so.
and I still remember that kind of scared the shit out of me back then.
Yeah, that was like
Definitely really suspenseful, and like I said, this is probably one of the least big explosive blockbuster movies that we watched.
Yeah, an Alien Invasion
and
that was a real not low scale,
And it
but
worked. It
low-key,
honestly was one of the best that we got to watch.
something different. About the last good movie out of that director.
It's got a similar problem that a lot of Alien movies fall victim to, which is, I think, the motivation for the aliens to come here. They want our resources, but
Not the one we're abundant in, and that's water.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's
but,
all. Yeah, that's,
But every molecule and like everything that's on Earth can be found in space. Like there are giant puddles of water in space. Like we don't have resources that are unique. You can go anywhere and get the same molecules and chemicals and like all that stuff on other planets. There's carbon everywhere.
right.
There's oxygen and helium and radon and like all xenon and everything is just everywhere in space. You don't need to come to Earth to get that stuff.
True. That is a very overused plot
Cliche.
source.
Yeah.
I almost like oh, why are these aliens coming to take over our planet? Because they want another planet to harvest their race on. That almost sounds...
It almost seems like the only reason any space travel would ever happen would be some kind of diplomacy. Like, we're expanding the universe, you know.
Yeah.
Like, unless we're
Alexander, we need to expand our empire, so we're just going to stake every planet, no matter how small. Because why would you take Earth? If you're looking for planets, why would you take Earth when you have Jupiter 2 or 3 houses down? You know, like...
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, it's tricky.
Right.
That's why when I look at alien movies, I do tend to analyze the reason they're here. Like, Signs, they want our resources. Independence Day, they want our core. What else did we watch? District 9, it was just like a mistake. It seemed like they didn't mean to be here.
Right.
War of the Worlds, it's like they were always here and it's just to attack us. Like, we're not that special.
Yeah, they do harvest us somehow. And I don't know. There was like the red weed that like grew all over, and
Yeah.
they like light beam the fuck out of some people, but then they also like collect them and put them in the, I don't know, like storagey pods.
Tom Cruise looking like Kratos covered in ash, like...
Yeah.
Oh my god, Gaia!
But
Spielberg!
We're going to talk about that movie a little later.
Right. Back to Signs. I really like this one. And this was the first time I think I'd ever seen Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
At least for me, too.
The fact that, I don't know, I guess that he's minor league player, struck out, swing away Merrill. That part of it is whatever. I don't get why you couldn't just make him a normal guy and just be like, hey, swing away and beat the shit out of him with that bat because you're a normal guy. You know, you look like you have some muscles and you could probably do something because it's a fucking baseball bat. I don't know.
But it's the guy who holds the minor league home run record.
True.
But
Also league.
But he doesn't he also have the strikeout record?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was cheesy.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
That
you
was a
just
little rough.
threw him on polar ends of the spectrum there. You made him sound really good, and then you just came crashing down like, oh, he was the best.
It just seemed wrong not to swing.
Well, hey, that fucking Lionel Wolfington and the... Or,
Pritchardton Brothers or whatever.
Lionel Pritchard and the Wolfington Brothers.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, you're right.
What
Yeah.
a dick. And he's like the guy they talk shit on all the time, but he's there like enrolling in the military. Like, what are you doing with your life, Merrill? You just sit at home now?
I thought and like I said, I do like the movie. There's just a lot
It's
a little confused on, like the water thing, like the girl with the water.
She was leaving those there so that he would have something to swing at. Like, there was a very...
Like, very undertone of her, like, knowing this is... Or
Yeah,
has
she
an
was
inkling.
doing... I believe she was doing that on purpose. Not, like, she didn't know what she was doing, maybe.
Right. But yet
It was definitely... There was some, forces at work.
He should have just had a better way of explaining it. Because I think it leaves a lot of people, like, you're like, does she have an issue? Like
Like, what if it had been like a Coca-Cola thing she likes to leave around the house, you know?
There's still water.
Swing away, Mara. Yeah, and all the,
Yeah,
carbonation in there is like, drying
not
them out.
that rich to have Coca-Cola just to leave out,
Oh, I mean, it could have been anything, and it just happens to be water.
Yeah, I think that was...
Like, what if she leaves her fucking juice boxes all over it? Okay, Meryl, crack these Capri Suns open and douse these guys.
The alien at the end was the same alien that got his fingers cut off by
Mel
Father,
Gibson.
Not Father, Mel Gibson, right?
Yeah.
How did it find them? I guess is my...
Did he just get there by luck, or did it...
Yeah, does he have, like, a nose and just like a bloodhound and just track him there, or like...
That's a small town.
Yeah, I just kind of chalked it up.
He just annihilated the rest of the town looking for...
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of chalked it up to as a small town. And maybe he did, like...
Just stumble upon it?
Or, no, I mean, like, maybe he did track him. I mean...
Yeah, I guess.
He seems to be the only alien that, like, didn't get killed. It suffered just an injury.
The movie does so good at feeding you hints and imagery and stuff, building up to this reveal of the aliens. Like, when they're running around the house, and, they're both just, like, screaming like madmen. And in the cornfield, you see the leg disappear.
Yeah.
And
He looks out the window.
Whoa.
That one girl, like, wakes up from a bad dream, looks out the window, and it's on the roof.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, holy shit. Like, I freaked out,
Yeah, I freaked out when I watched this the first time all those years ago. I mean...
Very, very eerie. It's got a good feel to it. I love the use of the crop signals.
Yeah.
The making history aspect of the movie I really liked, like where you could see them watching the news and the news was reporting on it, and then like, I don't know, it just felt like you got a sense like this is something big happening in the world,
Right.
Like, aliens are here. It didn't focus so much on the aliens are here and they're killing us. It's more like, I don't know how to put it.
Is it like a full-scale attack? Were there other reports of aliens coming down? And
Yeah, there were crop
attacking?
circles everywhere.
Right, but did they actually come down and attack, or was it just
Yeah,
Mel
it
Gibson
showed some like
pissed
news
off the
footage.
one?
It showed
Okay,
news
all right,
footage
yeah,
of
that's
like
what I thought.
this is over like India. This was filmed in Mexico City.
That
and it
birthday
showed-
party scene where like from the bush you're
screams
like,
about like the
"Whoa!"
chupacabra or whatever, and like it steps out of the bush.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was cool. M. Night Shyamalan definitely made a winner with this one. Sadly, it's one of
It
his
made the
only
like
few winners.
normal alien visual of like teardrop shaped head and like long skinny body, and it made it
eerie.
look good.
It made it eerie.
Yeah,
Good
because
looking.
I tend to shy away from movies with the stereotypical big head alien.
Yeah, bug eyes. And,
Like, that's why I like District 9 so much. That's why I like Attack the Block so much. It's just a different interpretation of aliens.
Right.
But for the bulb head aliens, that I think it's definitely one of the best.
yeah,
we've got.
nailed it. Performances were awesome, right? Mel Gibson before he became anti-Semitic. A Culkin brother, you know,
one
warrior.
of the Culkin brothers. Abigail Breslin's first role?
Just about had damn near.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, awesome performances all around. Even the director himself as the guy who
Ray Reddy
killed
yeah.
Mel Gibson's wife in the movie, which is, I guess, an interesting role to take in your own film. I'd have been the guy that's like, oh, it's a Coca-Cola people, you know, 13!
Yeah,
I'd have been that
was-
guy, but
that
he
was pretty funny.
wants to, I guess, try his acting chops and...
Well, that was the bookstore scene, right?
It's funny because it was
Yeah.
like a conspiracy about aliens. Which
That's
are a
that's
conspiracy
one thing
anyways.
in the writing I didn't like was the bookstore scene. Like, she came in and it was like, we're looking for books on aliens, and the guy's like, Coca-Cola, and then his wife's like, oh yeah, we have one of them alien books for all the city folks. It's like, and you know exactly what shelf it's on and like where it's at.
This
Like
was
the
a big
one
right
alien-
now.
The one alien book that apparently doesn't get, rented out that much, and you know where
For
it's
the
at. Like,
city people.
yeah. Like,
I thought that scene was kind of. I mean, I like the Coca-Cola part. That part was funny, but
that was pretty funny. Yeah. The movie
And they all
is-
lived, and it restored his faith. What a
Yeah. All is...
What
all
just a
loops
cherry
are,
topper ending
Loops
there.
are closed there. Go
And-
Shyamalan.
watching this movie, I couldn't help but like think back to Scary Movie 3 every 5 seconds.
yeah.
I agree. I had the same problem.
Like,
Um,
Scary Movie made Signs more memorable than Signs did.
I almost picture Charlie Sheen in this movie as, we're going on like one of his rants,
Yeah,
like
his
Joaquin
father,
Phoenix or something,
Muldoon,
like,
or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they make fun of everybody. Like the lady cop gets it, Ray Reddy gets it.
Yeah.
Like his kids get made fun of.
Yeah, it's
That's too bad. Too bad for
Yeah.
Signs, but good job, Scary Movie. You made
Yeah.
it more lasting.
the
impression.
last good Scary Movie.
yeah, that's awesome.
for the last good M. Night Shyamalan film. So hey,
think
they
they-
Oh
exist.
wait, when did Village come out?
It was the next film, but
I
I
thought
didn't.
Village was okay.
I didn't. To me, that's where like things started to get like.
I would
what are
need
you
to watch
doing
it
here?
again.
I would too. It's
Lady
been
in the
years.
Water is interesting, to say the least. It's
I don't know
all
if I've
right.
seen it.
The Happening sucked.
I thought The Happening was okay.
I didn't like Wahlberg in it. All this stuff's happening. He's like, this is just stuff we gotta accept, guys. Mother Nature's trying to get us. Let me call your mother for me. Like he's
You
just
gotta outrun the wind.
Yeah, like
That was a good.
we gotta run away from the wind, man.
You do a good Wahlberg.
Like I just was like, oh my god, I cannot sit here and bear this. And I didn't even watch The Last Airbender because I just heard it sucked so much ass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
And what did he do?
But he did The Sixth Sense, right?
The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable are both
Unbreakable was amazing.
critically and I think audiences as well really liked. So, and like I said,
yeah.
Signs got really good reviews, and I guess 3 is the lucky number because after that it kind of just careened down a deep and dark shithole.
Oh man, you can't win them all.
Yeah, that's true.
Another alien invasion movie you guys liked. District 9.
Loved it.
Actually, if we're gonna go out of all the ones we watched, District 9 is my favorite.
Okay.
I
need to rewatch it. I
think
What are
we've
you?
seen
Let's
it
go around.
once.
What are your guys' favorites out of what we watched?
Are we including Independence Day?
Yeah.
Independence Day is a classic to me, but I will say District 9 was probably my favorite. Which is weird because I watched it when it first came out, didn't care for it at all, and the whole time I'm sitting there watching it this time, I went, why did I not like this? This is awesome. This is so
It's really smart.
so
really,
original, so cool. It's definitely got a deep meaning behind it about how we treat those that are different.
or
and-
lesser.
Yes, lesser, or we think we're superior. Concentration camps. You know, whole.
They even admitted it. Like he's like the tents aren't better. They're basically concentration camps.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is. I like the undertone.
Before we dive right into District 9, what was your favorite? Nick?
I would have to say. Now, see, I haven't seen District 9 in a while, so I can't. I'm gonna have to pass on that one. But probably Signs. Signs and Independence Day are both good.
For sure, those are the three best: District 9, Signs, and Independence.
Yeah, those are the standouts I think that we watched.
I agree.
Okay, so let's dive into
District 9
because I loved the documentary style. I thought that was really good.
I liked that it was documentary at some parts and then went to regular film.
Cinematic.
Yeah, that's. I think he was smart to do that because
there's
audiences that don't want to sit there and watch a whole handheld camera like the whole time. That whole style.
I'm one of them.
So going back and forth between the two was, I think, a smart move.
Well, they did a really good job of, I think, giving you a kind of alien that we haven't seen before, kind of insect.
A prawn.
Yeah. And like they definitely had the prawn, air quotes, the prawn look.
He's air quoting, sinners.
Yeah. And like at first you're like, these disgusting things. Of course, you get them out of the way. Look at them; they're scavenging and they eat cat food. And
you see them in the ship, and they're like, it looks like there's like alien feces and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
When they find them on this ship, they're all like hiding in a corner.
Uh-huh.
It just looks like they're just covered in some kind of mess. And I'll dive into an issue later of why they never get back on the ship. The government. I mean, they just.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah.
But they did a really good job of making you kind of like disgusted by the aliens, and then by the end, you're rooting for them at every turn, And I think it says a lot to like what we would actually do if aliens showed up and we determined that they were lesser beings than us.
Yeah, the alien ship shows up and they wait 6 months. All right, it's like almost like several months.
Yeah,
a long time of the ship hovering above Johannesburg in Germany.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I don't.
Johannesburg.
No, I thought Johannesburg is South Africa. Don't they all have
Yeah.
South
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I said Germany. That was weird. South Africa. It just hovers there, and he talks about how the governments all kind of came together and they decided what they should do, what they shouldn't do, and it took months, I guess. And so they finally decide
we're going to go in.
They're going to break in, right? So they like laser a hole in there and just whoosh, right, or entryway, either way.
In the sky to the ship in the sky.
The ship in the sky, right?
Yeah. It's just hovering there.
They're in there with their hazmat suits, and it just looks like it's covered in like alien, like feces, or it's a mess.
Did they ever explain why they ended up here, or like why they were like living in squalor in the ship until we came and?
No, and see it doesn't answer that question. It doesn't answer why exactly it's here. It maybe implies it was a mistake.
I'm okay with
because it definitely wasn't for resources.
Yeah, you don't just show up at a place for resources and then like
you're all
living your own shit
and you're all about cat food. Yeah. No, that's not.
But that's not even like a thing of. See, we see it as disgusting because cats eat cat food and humans don't eat cat food, but they're not humans.
Right.
To think that they should live the way humans live is just naive. You know, they come from a different planet with they could breathe helium and exhale oxygen for all we know. They're different beings. They evolved in a different way.
Different anatomy.
They could be older. They could be smarter. Their technology seems to be way more advanced than ours. But so that leads to believe maybe they're not the dominant life form on their planet. Maybe they were sent here as scouts. There's a lot of different things that they could have done with that. I would have liked to see a sequel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like maybe him coming back to rescue him or whatever. But what... I don't know where I was going with
Is District 9, like the title, is that where the aliens are on Earth?
That is like their quarantined zone, basically, and they call it District 9. And the movie is about Charlton Copley's character. He's working for MNU, which is multinational, an alien, a new human that goes and works with
the mediators stuff. Almost.
Yeah.
It's like we come and talk to them, they talk to the aliens.
And so his company, which is run by his father-in-law runs a company, okay? And they are in the middle of moving all the aliens from their slum shitholes to, air quotes again, sinners, their new home, which is District 10.
Is that what they called it?
Yeah, I think they call it District 10 with all the tents and stuff. Like I said, basically a concentration camp. It's basically, this site got too shitty and messy. We're going to move you to this other...
It's like what we do with homeless people. Yeah. Like there was a whole documentary on Netflix, Tent City, where like these homeless people set up some tents to live, and then the city decided that it was too unsightly, so they made them leave. It's like, oh, aliens are here. It's such a great thing. We're not alone in the universe. And then like, okay, well, we'll kind of put them over here, and you guys are kind of gross, and we don't want to deal with you, so we're gonna move you over here.
Right, they're moving them like 250 kilometers, like south of where they're at.
Yeah.
And so Charles R. Copley, the guy, his father-in-law, and you can tell because Charles R. Copley obviously talks to the camera and stuff before he goes into all that. But he's kind of a goofy klutz, like nice guy, but like
he's kind of a
definitely
dick,
you
though.
don't think a leader for like the job he's about to get, which is to be the leader of moving all these prawns from District 9 to District 10. So he has to go in there, and they talk about how in our American society, or I guess world society, whatever, to evict someone, you have to give them notice. And they're basically like, yeah, they're aliens. They're on our planet, but they're not part of our planet, so fuck that. We're just going to go evict them right now. And so he has to go knock on like all the alien doors because they have their own little shacks, and like, some have kids. They're living like their lifestyle, right? They're not just like heathens and with no sign of life.
I mean, they're a victim of what we gave them.
Yeah, exactly.
They live in shit because we gave them shit to live in.
Right, yeah. And so he has to go like...
And they understand English?
Somehow. That's another little problem I had.
Because they can understand the aliens,
They've
too.
been there
Even
for a
though
while,
they're just like...
They'd been there for a while.
Speaking... Oh, yeah, it's been 28 years.
So it's kind of like maybe they speak broken English. Like they can understand certain things. Like say you go to another country and you have, bonjour and...
It's like
wee
click,
wee
click,
and,
clickety-click.
Clickety-clack, clack, click.
You're like...
So fast forwarding though, what is... Sharlto Copley, like, what is he? Didn't he become, like, infected by one or some shit?
So he gets to this alien. This alien and his partner are working on something. They have to get this alien fluid from their technology. And apparently this thing is going to start the big ship up in the sky.
Yeah, they need enough fuel to... It's either to fly the escape pod to the ship, or it's to power the ship when they get there. I can't remember. But basically...
They need to power the small ship to get up to the big ship to fly out.
Yeah,
so the big ship, I guess, still works.
So for 20 years, they've just been, like, harvesting this fluid. It's taken them 20 years to collect.
And this thing looks like a tall boy pop can that he has, full of liquid. So imagine how much liquid you had to get at one time to get 28 years worth thing to build this up.
Yeah, so they've been working.
So
they've been here They've been here at least 20 years, so that's how they know a little bit of English.
He comes knocking on the guy's door. Obviously, they're like trying to hide it. The alien's out there talking to the crew, and Charles Copley's examining the house looking for goods and contrabands. Sees it, and he's like, "Oh, this is definitely something here." Fucks with it, and it like squirts in his face, and he instantly is like coughing up a lung. Puts the lid on it, bags it up, takes it, and he starts feeling. As the day goes on, he calls it a day because he starts getting sick.
Yeah,
and like he starts throwing up like black stuff. He's bleeding like black. Nosebleed.
His hand is wrapped up.
He got his hand injured somehow. And I don't remember. Tyler, do you remember how he got his hand? His hand gets injured somehow, and hopefully we come back to that. But it's wrapped up for a good while. So he gets taken to the hospital, and obviously he's puking up black shit. They cut open the bandages, and it's an alien hand.
I think he got infected. His hand was just hurting, so he wrapped it up.
I don't remember how.
But the arm goes alien?
The arm is alien.
Yeah,
which
I thought was a cool effect.
How would
like when they unwrap the hand and like the little I don't know what
three claw
talons
things
came out. So like you could see some of the skin like ripping as the new arm was growing in, which I thought was really really interesting.
But my thing is like, wouldn't you feel your body? And it's sad. I can't remember what happened to the hand.
Well, he obviously felt it. That's why it was wrapped up. He just didn't know what was happening, and he's
Right.
probably in denial. And like a lot of things are happening.
He's
his
really
body
scared.
chemistry is changing,
And you find out the stepdad or his father-in-law is like in on it. They're like,
well once he starts changing, and they realize that he's going to be able to use the alien weapons,
because humans can't fire the alien weapons.
so you need alien DNA to use the alien weapons.
So when they take the ships, obviously when they raided the alien ship, they took all the weapons and stuff, and they know a lot about it, but they can't fire it. So this guy, they make him like a subject basically, tie him to like a thing and like make him fire alien weapons, and they're like, oh shit, he is the one person on the planet that can shoot both human and alien weapons.
Yeah,
he's
very valuable.
You find out they've been like dissecting aliens and like butchering them, trying to like figure them out. And so, yeah, like I said, they're testing on him, and
They give him like pigs to shoot, and he's really, he doesn't want to hurt anything. He's just like a goofball. I mean, he's kind of a dick. He's really a dick to the aliens, but he kind of treats them like we treat animals, So,
and he knows it. Oh, his wife is against. Oh, they've turned his wife against him, basically.
yeah.
His wife.
So they don't really know his wife doesn't really know where he's at. They kind of spread these lies about him that he was like having sex with prawns and all this stuff. So he's firing the weapons.
Which I thought was weird, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, of all the things you could have said, like, you could have said he's like a terrorist or something.
He's fornicating with aliens.
Fornicating with aliens.
And they like put like photoshopped pictures of him on
Yeah.
the news and stuff.
Aside from Copley, is there any other big names in it? I don't remember. Like I said, it's been a while.
No, and I think that's one of the reasons this movie's so great.
Because Copley wasn't even an actor then.
I
also
heard.
Yeah, I heard he was not an actor. And then, I don't know, maybe... Was he in the short film that this was based on? His first... Because this was a short film the director turned into a bigger film.
I've never seen
Another thing I heard was that Neil Blomkamp, this was a movie that he, I guess, went to Peter Jackson about, or they wanted to do something, and Peter Jackson was like,
Halo.
"Hey, dude, here's $30 million. I think it was $30 million."
Yeah, they were going to do Halo together.
Right, and that didn't
fell
prosper.
through.
Right.
Right.
So he gives them, I think it was $30 million, and Neil Blomkamp turns out this movie, and
Yeah.
it turns out to even be nominated
Yeah,
for
he
best
told him he
best
wanted
picture.
to expand his short film. And
An Oscar-nominated sci-fi film.
right.
Like,
the first Oscar-nominated film for Best Picture to feature hand cam footage. Hand cam style footage.
that's awesome. Good deal.
Yeah, truly, truly awesome. And you can tell with the rest of Blomkamp's movies, Chappie and Elysium, he definitely has the same style. Like, they all look like they're
Sure.
happening on like the same planet,
But
same
they
time.
definitely don't have the same weight as District 9.
No, you're right. They're
I've
definitely
seen Elysium, and I can tell you
explore technology and what we've done to it and how society differs with the technology that you're given. Elysium, obviously, all the rich people were on Elysium, and all the poor fucks were on Earth.
Yeah.
He's definitely big. It sounds like into like social classes and things like the
Yes,
aliens
definitely.
are their
Social
own
under-
shitty subclass. Like, and we've put ourselves there.
Deep
Elysium
undertone
did the
of
same
this.
thing. Chappie, I haven't seen to really weigh in on, but it sounds like this director's going to make a big deal in the sci-fi world. Like a next Ridley Scott, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
This movie starts off very documentary style, and it almost turns, like you said, like an action flick, and you're rooting the alien that invented the shit that got into his eye.
Yeah.
He hooks back up with, because he goes and hides in the prawn camp.
Yeah.
Where are they never gonna look? With the prawns.
Yeah.
And he runs into the alien, and the alien's like, "Yeah, I can fix you, but we need to get on that ship, and it's gonna take three years."
No. At first, he's like, I can fix you. We just need
Right.
to retrieve this stuff and get back to the ship. Right. So then.
He's kind of playing Charlton Copley.
No, not really. Not at first. Because then they
he's hiding the truth.
He's not. Once they get into the building, the prawn, the
He's
alien,
not straightforward.
notices that they're dissecting his family and friends. So they get into the building, into MNU, and he sees all the dissection and all the testing that's going on. And at that point, leaving becomes a priority, right? First he was going to fix the guy, then they were going to leave.
Yeah,
now he has to leave because they're killing his family. So he tells the guy, I know I said I could fix you, but it's going to take 3 years because I have to get my family off of this planet, and then I will come back for you, I promise. It's like this really heartfelt, these people from two different worlds come together, and it's just a really good story.
Yeah, and then Copley obviously tries to be like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna take the ship and I'm gonna go fix myself." Somehow,
Yeah.
you planned on flying the alien ship you know nothing about.
Uh-huh.
You have the capability because you got the alien arm,
Yeah.
and you're slowly turning alien to a prawn.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know how you plan on getting past anything. You couldn't even fly the little ship up to the big ship without crashing it. So he tries to turn on him, and obviously he's like, "No." Oh, he gets in like a big
Mech suit
mech suit. Oh, yeah, some like Titanfall type style.
that you can only control if you have alien
technology.
DNA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, the end, Charlton Copley does not make it. The alien and his son get aboard the ship.
Which the son was adorable.
The son was adorable. The alien son was awesome. Remind me of my own kids. I was like, "Oh, God. I hope you make it."
He's just curious and like.
And it cuts off
Good-hearted.
before they even get off the planet. and if at the very end you see Charlton Copley as a prawn, or you to assume it's him. He's
They
just
do
smaller.
they do this cool bit where the alien and the son are trying to escape in the ship, and they go to fire a rocket at him, like a rocket launcher or something at the ship. You know what I'm talking about? And he's in the mech suit, and he reaches up and he grabs the missile so it doesn't make it to the ship, so he can get away.
Yeah, it's really cool. Man.
Yeah, it's good.
The mech suit's cool. A lot of the alien tech is really cool. Like you said, you see him testing out all the alien weapons, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and like he doesn't want to, and they're making him pull the trigger, and then so they start bringing in the pigs for him to kill, and he doesn't want to do it because he doesn't want to hurt these pigs, and they make him do it. I don't remember how they
shock him.
Yeah, so
He
like
can't
he
really
finally
control
decides
the
that he's
wind.
going to shoot these pigs, and then they march out a prawn in front of him, and he's like, "I'm not shooting that guy." What's the difference between a prawn? But like so he won't shoot the prawn, and they end up making him. And
Yeah, the movie, because there are definitely humans on Earth that are all for treating the aliens like us. Yeah, integrating them.
Were there
like-
protesters at one point?
yeah, there's protesters, and it's a big deal. It seems like more people are against them, but there are people that are for them.
Yeah.
Right.
And so obviously them turning Johannesburg into like a slump pile of shit, and they want to relocate them and do all this stuff for them. It's almost like now where they're like, our country wastes so much money doing this for all these other countries, but we got shit over here we need to fix. Kind of one of those undertones. But overall, a great movie. Like I said, I was really blown away that I did not like this all so many years ago. One of the best ones we watched.
I think it definitely at the top of my list.
And Charlton Copley is so awesome. He's a funny man.
I do like Charlton Copley. He's the man.
What else has he been in?
He's in the A-Team, the new A-Team movie. Oh, you didn't see A-Team?
He's really good in the A-Team. Yeah,
He was
he's in that.
Oh, he's Hardcore Henry. He is the main guy in Hardcore
I can't
Henry.
watch Hardcore Henry.
Oh, right. You don't like the first.
Well, I get
the hand cam.
I
stuff.
get
He voices
Nauseous.
Chappie. Like he is Chappie.
Oh, really?
And he is also in.
Was Chappie good? I didn't see Chappie either.
I haven't seen it,
He
but
is in Elysium. I have not seen Chappie.
Yeah, it's also the bad guy in
He's the bad
Elysium,
guy
I
in
think.
Elysium.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's the king in. Was it Maleficent or Cinderella? Maleficent, right?
Yeah, he's in Maleficent.
He is the king.
Well, that's cool.
He's kind of
Yeah.
a jerk in that. So that sucks. But man, one movie I didn't enjoy out of the ones that we watched that I remember liking and was excited to watch but hated it, War of the Worlds. Steven Spielberg's 2004, 2005 film. I hated it.
I hate to bash.
Have you guys seen it? Am I alone?
You know what?
Always sucked.
I kind of
I
don't think it
guess.
sucks.
I don't think it sucks either. So this is why I was like, oh man.
I enjoyed watching it. There are a lot of parts that I don't buy. I don't like, and I was talking to you about this earlier today, Nick. I don't like the son.
He
I don't
sucks.
like how
Both kids suck.
he's so good to the sister in like the first 3/4 of the movie. And then all of a sudden he wants to just abandon his sister and his father to go help the army. So here, let me paint the picture for you, sinners. There's a giant battle going on.
Like right over the hill.
Yes, between aliens and humans. The army's there. They're all in their camo and they've got their guns that have been issued and they've been trained on. And they're fighting and they're fighting. And this kid, this teenager, doesn't have a license. He's not even driving a car yet legally. Thinks that he's going to run up in an active war zone, get issued a weapon, and then somehow be effectively doing anything to help.
Useful in the war at all.
I mean, his motivation is fine, right? He wants to help. He wants to
What's to be a
protect
hero?
Earth.
Yeah, sure.
But, now's not the time, kid. You're just going to be in the way, in my opinion, and your sister needs you now.
It's
Yeah.
one of the few instances where coach put me in will not put you in. Like
Yeah.
his dad
especially-
tries to tell him that, and he's like, "Robbie, you have to come with us." And he's like, "I need to see this."
Well,
Okay, but this is the military. These are aliens. You're a fucking kid.
even
You-
they
I'm
don't
down to
get
you for
along with
stealing
the
my
dad,
car.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, hey, I know we don't get along, sister, and I always got your back, but hey, he's your problem now.
The whole-
I'm gonna go kill some aliens.
All of the
Like,
human stuff is like real played up and just sucks.
Well, because, like, in that same scene, there's people trying to steal his daughter. Like, oh, you're all alone. And she's literally yelling, no, my dad is right there. My dad is right there. And the lady's like, you're alone. You need to come with us. And the guy's like, babe, let's get the hell out of here. And she's like, I'm not leaving this little girl. And she's still saying, my dad is right there. I think she says it like 10 times. And then the dad finally lets the son go and then catches up to the daughter. And she's like, oh, I thought she was alone. I was just trying to help her. bitch, I heard my daughter saying that I was right over here, you know? You knew I was right here.
There's a war going on, and I heard it over there. You're in her face. How did you, like,
I'm dealing with my son right now.
Willfully dense right now?
Will you get away from my daughter? You know, just get away from my daughter. Just go. Go.
The War of the Worlds is a classic from H.G. Wells. It's been done. There's probably like 3 or 4 versions out there floating around.
Right.
And I was so bummed. Like, I felt like Spielberg took this as like one of the few movies I feel like he took as just a job. You know, like, hey, we're looking to bring this to life. What do you think? Well, we can make this cheap. We can do it with tons of green screen and on a set, and it can look fine. Except that it didn't.
Tom Cruise is in, so we'll be fine. We'll sell tickets.
I get they wanted to modernize it, but I feel like it almost would have done better if Spielberg made it as like a retro 50s.
That'd be cool. The aliens still, the tripods look, sort of have a classic look to them. Like, the sound looks cool, but it didn't feel like Spielberg in the sense that he's always like exploring the aliens. You know, he's done a few E.T., Close Encounters, and you always feel a little bit like of the aliens. This didn't have any like zoom ins. It didn't feel organic. It's literally just green screen.
Plus,
the whole damn time.
Plus, and see, my whole problem wasn't with the aliens. It was with, like, one of you said, the humans.
Oh, yeah, they both suck. I didn't like either one.
Yeah. Like, Tom Cruise's character is just not believable. Like, he's just the worst dad in the world.
He's like the Hollywood dad, yeah.
It's like, oh, sorry. Why didn't you grab any damn food? That's all you had. You knew you just had condiments, dude. You knew you hadn't been.
He's got this sweet ass car that apparently is working fine. He's driving it, and his son even steals it. But then you go into the kitchen, and there's like a whole nother engine block, and like a car piece is there, but you don't know to what car it goes to.
I don't even.
I've got one ride, and it's all fixed up, revving good. It's the most expensive thing I own.
And I got an
engine.
But
there's a whole nother engine block across my
groceries.
kitchen here. Right. And I was like, okay. The mom even points out, she's like, your kitchen is filled with stuff and no food. What the fuck? And he's like, I'm a loser of this divorce battle. What do you expect me to do? You know, like. So his son hates him. He even tries to like play baseball with him, and is like, it's off season, Dad. I don't play. I'm like, well, you do if you're worth the shit as an athlete. You do, you know.
If you want to go somewhere with it, then goddamn, you practice every day like year.
Yeah. Dakota Fanning is totally annoying the whole time.
Okay, I think Dakota Fanning did fine.
She did fine if you were annoying and crying the whole time. She's a
little girl, and aliens are taking over the world.
She is the worst, though. I mean, she screams in like the car.
I'm not on the Dakota Fanning hate train. I think
she did okay.
I don't know if she's any good now. I haven't seen her in much, but as a younger actress, she was fine. Younger actress.
I feel like she would have been fine had she just not been screaming the whole time.
Man, aliens! Like, she's a little kid, and aliens were taking over.
I can agree it can be annoying, but. Honestly,
sometimes
she brought down everything.
I'll be the guy that's like, it's realistic. What's not realistic is Chatwin, like I said, just being like, you know what, fuck the sister, I don't even care about her anymore. I'm going to join these army guys, or I could possibly die here in the next 10 seconds because I'm making this stupid decision, you know. Whereas Dakota Fanning's totally true to her element. She's scared as fuck. It ain't like she changed character and did something really brave later in the movie, you know, like, I got in a tripod, took it down myself.
No, you're right. You're right.
She stayed that scared little girl the whole time. I don't know. I didn't hate her. Like I said, I enjoy the movie.
I thought it was cool how the enemy went down.
It's not his best.
What, a virus? Like, or Earth's...
Yeah, that was kind of neat.
Yeah, they couldn't take our atmosphere?
They couldn't handle our germs and stuff.
Okay.
You know, we have antibodies and, like, stuff that we've developed over years. Like, we've lost tons of people to those things. We've paid our dues to
and then show up a few days, I think, maybe like.
Wasn't it like 3 days, something like that? 2 or 3 days?
I loved when they were trying to suck Tom Cruise up into the alien, and he had the grenades with him, and then they like pulled him back out, and he spit out the grenade pins. I thought that was a cool shot.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
You
Go
know.
Tom Cruise.
Being
the action guy.
Spielberg probably thought
like when they were pulling him up, because I couldn't remember what happened, and I saw him reach for those grenades. I was like, oh yeah.
It's so weird because they make him like this like normal Joe. He's like a sort of like a crane operator type guy, like in New York, wherever it takes place.
Oh, he's like the best crane operator.
Yeah, he's like
he
the
is
man.
The crane operator.
His boss is like, I need you to work overtime.
I don't know anyone else
like,
that can do
those
30 crates in an hour.
Yeah, so he's like top dog, but he's
like union, bitch.
Yeah. I don't have to stay late. Fuck that.
He's like, hold on, I gotta go home and not give a shit about my kids.
Yeah, but he dumped all his money into this car.
I've got kids to not care about.
Yeah, and then a random second engine all over his table. And
he's like, you know how much I don't care about my kids? I'm not joking. I don't even buy groceries for them. So if I don't have food, they can't stay. Whoa.
They make a point of that in the movie too.
Didn't he like not remember that they were even coming?
Something like that. Yeah.
God. Okay.
He's kind of just like a slacker.
They kind of make him hard to like. Like he's a bad dad. He's someone who is portrayed to have a lot of talent in his work, but doesn't care and doesn't want to use it, which is fine. You
You almost want to cheer on crazy Tim Robbins. Like, knock his ass out.
Was he the one in the basement?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was kind of a cool moment too. He had to go kill it.
I heard
kill the
he
guy
was
that
like a
saved his
culmination
daughter.
of like 3 different characters
From the books?
Yeah.
See, I've never read the book either.
I couldn't tell you what characters, but I guess what he does, what he says, and then like some elements of him or whatever are all compiled from like 3 different guys. So it's.
I really only liked the way the aliens like sounded. The cool horn effect was awesome. I like the way they like
moved.
The interesting way they died or but I don't know.
They
the rest
cool
of it,
when they were in the basement looking around and stuff.
Yeah. Oh well. So it actually showed real alien, like the operators of the aliens that apparently are inserted to the machines through like lightning strikes.
Right, which is
goofy.
Something
goofy
kind of
sci-fi.
yeah. Like surely that thing would have been in the way of like subway tracks or something.
I would have believed it better if it was like, no, the lightning strike powers or turns the thing on, gives it a jump start, but the aliens being in like riding the lightning, right as you'll say, that's a little weird. The story is not. The story is what it is, but overall it's another popcorn action flick. Not Spielberg's best. But to me, it was just an enjoyable.
Did not care for it.
I thought it was okay. I wasn't bored watching it by any means, which I cannot say the same for Battle LA. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you guys hated this. I kind of remembered it having a little bit more of like an emotional attachment to it than some of the other stuff we watched.
I didn't
like the kid from Transformers, like the like young captain or whatever. You know, he like dies on the bridge or something, trying to like rescue the family.
From Transformers?
You guys don't watch.
Leo.
You guys don't watch. Oh,
wait, he's in that?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's the young.
Was he the leader?
Yeah,
the leader straight out of like the academy school that you put in charge of an alien invasion, but you're gonna have the guy that's been in combat.
About the guy that's in Shameless. Do you watch Shameless?
I don't know, and I only know William H. Macy from
Aaron
Shameless.
Eckhart is the veteran soldier who has seen combat, and you put him second in command. Like, why would you? Why would you place him behind a rookie? He don't know what he's up against. He hasn't seen combat with a human, and you want to put him against aliens like out the gate? No, that's.
Did you have a problem with the aliens? They're machines, right?
I didn't have a problem with the aliens, but honestly, I turned it off. I made it like an hour into the movie.
I was thinking of this guy, Noel Fisher.
Michelangelo?
Yeah, Michelangelo from the new Ninja Turtles is in it.
I think he's good.
I thought he did. I
He's
thought
one
the
of my
marine
favorite
aspect
people
was cool.
in
I
Shameless.
liked the part he got left behind or whatever. That was kind of cool, but I hated all. It almost looked like a fan film. Like the CG was just not good to me. Like a random explosion would happen here. Oh, the alien ship comes cruising through the top of the frame, but it looks so fake.
See, I don't like war movies to begin with. It's got to be like a really interesting take on war for me to be into it. And I guess Alien Invasion is an interesting take on war, but it was just like fast shots, explosions,
Right.
blurry effects, explosions. Oh, there's another spaceship. Oh, I wonder what that looked like. I'll never know, I guess. And explosion, war stuff. War is hell. Explosion, aliens, explosion, alien.
Warfare style.
Like it was too much.
Guerrilla warfare is what it looked like. Just like bam, 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 bam. Like all this stuff you have to try and like watch and what happens, and you're like, wait.
Cheesy
what?
war dialogue.
Yeah.
Aliens, action.
And I didn't really care for any of the actors. Aaron Eckhart is your best guy, and you gave him like he's just the quiet guy, but mysterious.
He's kind of broody, right?
Yeah, he accidentally got some soldiers killed, and so instead they're like, "We're gonna punish you, bitch. You're gonna be second in command on this one. You won't get to say whether or not they have the chance to die." Like that to me just was not. It was Jonathan Liebsman as the director.
Yeah.
So he did the first Ninja Turtles. He did Wrath of the Titans. Wrath of the Titans tanked. I never saw it. We obviously have talked about what we thought of the new Ninja Turtles movie. And this one, to me, just fell short, given Aaron Eckhart being the actor that he is.
So this guy just doesn't have a good track record with you anyways.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
And I don't know if this was his first film or what. I just kept thinking this looks like a fan film. I could buy the effects that he used, right? The explosions and the fire and stuff. Like, I could buy that bundle pack online, download it, and use it in a short film. That's what it looked like to me. Maybe I'm being too hard on it.
No, I mean that's.
I just did not. I didn't even finish it. I couldn't.
Well, I just felt like I could see through War of the Worlds. Like, I knew what was a set. I felt like I knew what was a set. The green screen, like I said, it doesn't explore the aliens to any sort of depth. Like, you don't feel the aliens,
Right.
you just hear them. And they sound great, but they don't. That's the only thing that sounds organic about them. The rest just looks like they're looking at a giant screen. Couldn't do it. One of the alien movies I actually enjoyed was The Day the Earth Stood Still. Wouldn't call it so much an invasion. They do kind of talk about it at the very end, but
I liked it a lot up and the ending was not good.
it gets weird. Yeah, no doubt.
I didn't even think it got weird. It shorthanded us. For like, is all the whole movie they're all about, oh, humanity has to change. Humanity being the key word. He sees Jaden Smith talking about or crying over his dad died a year ago, and then all of a sudden he's like, you changed. It's worth saving. This one person displayed this act of kindness, and to me it just didn't sit well. And that part of it didn't. But like I said, the movie starts off really strong, and then in the end, obviously, he like sacrifices himself because Jaden Smith, I guess, was just the one punk ass
agree with
kid
you there.
that had to turn faith. And then, oh, that's motivation for me. I'm going to save the human race now.
I like the cast. I like Keanu Reeves. I like Jennifer Connelly. John Cleese was who I really liked his short role in it. Her dad.
We didn't get enough of him.
Or no, I'm sorry. Maybe he's just a scientist. No, you're
He's
definitely
like
right.
A partner, like ex-partner, fellow scientist, I think.
The way that he explained, I guess, what was going on, he talks about how it took a breaking point, like, or a disaster or whatever, a conflict. I don't remember how he worded it. It was very much better than how I'm about to butcher it.
When we're on the brink of extinction.
He's like, you guys changed for the better when you were on the cusp of disaster. And the alien's like, that's correct. And Keanu Reeves. And
Yeah,
John
I haven't
Cleese.
actually seen it. That's one I didn't get
Like I
to
said,
watch.
I actually enjoyed it better than I remembered thinking
agree.
about it. And so John Cleese retaliates with something like, well, that's where we are. You guys right now are the disaster that we need to make the change, the same one that you guys made. So you need to give us that shot. Like, that's where we're at. And like I said, he words it way better. It's way more inspirational, motivational. And I don't know, because of it, like, I was like, okay, cool. It's just solid, crisp writing. I don't know, better. Like I said, and I definitely liked it better than War of the Worlds.
Tyler, I suggest you check this out, if anything, because the director, Scott Derrickson, he did Sinister, and he's also he's doing Doctor Strange.
I'm in. I'll check
So
it out.
I was like, oh, when
I really
found
wish
out
I
it
would
was
have
him,
watched this instead of Battle Los Angeles.
it was better, yeah.
Well, see, I only got through half of Battle Los Angeles. I work overnights, and I watched it after work, and I was tired. I always intended to get back to it, and then I just didn't want to fall behind, so I watched the rest of the movies and didn't make it back around.
Well, I voluntarily turned Battle LA off, and Day the Earth Stood Still, to me, was way better. Overall, better acting, better story. Just
Keanu
like I said,
Reeves-
the ending, the motivation for the ending, I think, was shorthanded, and we were gypped of, in the movie, this huge robot. I guess
Gort?
it's a robot. They call it Gort.
Genetically organized, robotic, something.
starts
I
with a
tried
P.
to remember what it was going to be.
Yeah, and I can't do it.
I failed.
But he's like this huge robot with like a Cyclops optic beam going on.
Uh-huh.
And he basically is there to protect Klaatu with Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
So you see him like level like,
Keanu
tanks
Reeves, sort
and all
of
this
like
stuff.
Independence Day 2, he explains that he was there to help us, and we fired first on him.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think he explains that to somebody. So, like, right after we fire him, this Gort thing, like, walks out of this huge ball of light, and he kind of looks like, was it Amazo from the Justice League? And, like,
Yeah, and
tall, singular, like, sort of fluid skin.
no seams,
and then just has, like,
Just
one Cyclops eye
like a
that, like,
straight chrome
does the
with
work
Cyclops eye.
for him. Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the
Yeah.
few movies you see Kyle Chandler as, like, a dickhead. You know, you always root
Yeah.
for that guy.
And Kathy Bates is a total bitch too.
Yeah, she's like the senator, like diplomat of like, well, you're gonna work for the government or whatever, Klaatu, and Keanu Reeves is like, no, I'm not. I don't know.
This is a remake from like an old school 50s retro sci-fi film.
another throwback.
And so I was kind of disappointed the robot didn't look more like a robot. Like he just looked like you said, a big singular human-shaped Cyclops optic visor here going on.
He's just like 4 stories
yeah,
tall.
and so I was kind of like, oh man, I wish even giving him some seams or like some robot. He didn't walk like a robot. He didn't move like a robot.
Very retro look to him, just like
Yeah.
the alien, just like
Yeah.
the tripod.
They updated it, but like I said, it almost to me would have been better as like the 50s sci-fi adventure But Jaden Smith was the best little acting punk ass.
He did solid.
Yeah.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly is his stepmom.
Okay.
And he just does not buy into it at all. Like, he is not...
His dad was a soldier, totally died, and
Stepmom's obviously taken over.
so stepmom and him, and they kind of don't get along. But
He doesn't appreciate her at all.
but he comes to.
Yeah.
Like, she like totally loves him, and he's like, no, whatever, stepmom. He's kind of a John Connor from like the Terminator. You know, my
You're not
mother
my
Todd.
mom.
You know, just
So where does this stack up with the rest of the movies we watched this week?
I would put the Day the Earth Stood Still. I'd put it after Independence Day. Now, like I said, I'm ruling out of
So you're
I'm
Signs,
ruling District
Independence
9.
Day.
Yeah, Signs, Independence Day, Day the Earth Stood Still,
War of the Worlds.
Independence Day 2,
Oh,
and then
okay.
War of the Worlds. And I put all of those above, like notches above War of the Worlds.
All right, hold on. Say that one more time just so I got it. Because there's, what, like 6 or 7
Excluding
movies here?
District 9, I have Signs up at the top, Independence Day 1, War of the Worlds. I'm sorry, Day the Earth Stood Still, Independence Day 2, and like I said, all those are really close.
Right.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom is War of the Worlds. But
War
that's
of
just
the
me.
Worlds.
That
Yeah, okay.
Tyler, what about... No, you didn't watch The Day the Earth Stood Still, right?
I didn't. So that one will be excluded. I'm going to exclude Battle LA, even though I probably would put it at the bottom. So I'll go District 9, Independence Day, Signs, Independence Day 2, War of the Worlds. Then Battle LA if I would have finished it.
I think me and you were pretty close. I'm going to go District 9, Independence Day, Signs, probably War of the Worlds, then Day the Earth Stood Still. Maybe those could switch. And then Battle LA is definitely the bottom.
Okay.
And I did not see Independence Day 2.
any alien movies we didn't cover you guys like? I mean, besides the Avengers.
If we're are we talking just alien invasion?
Yeah,
Let's
it-
do favorite movie with aliens in it. Favorite movie where aliens are
Oh
the...
man, I don't know that
plot.
good.
I got it. I got mine easy.
Okay, what? Attack the Block.
Attack the Block.
Okay.
I love the alien design in Attack the Block. I like that it's not set in America. I like the storyline. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's goofy, but the aliens aren't the upright, like ultra smart kind of, aliens. They're more of the animalistic. They walk on all fours, almost gorilla-like, and they have these glowing teeth, and they're very primal and just attacking, and it's very, very exciting. It's a very good movie.
Might be a little bit cliche, and it is a franchise. Something I really like. Well, first one. I've not seen the third one, and the second one sucked. Men in Black.
Oh, Men in Black.
Men in Black, yeah, that's solid.
And I know that's not invasion movies like we covered now, but it is Alien,
Yeah, for sure.
and also Will Smith. The first Men in Black really sits well with me. I really like that movie.
It's pretty good.
Also, if we're going to think like 50s retro sci-fi, Mars Attacks by Tim Burton.
I did think of that one. It's a goofy one.
That
I
came
liked
out
it.
the same year as Independence Day as well, didn't it?
I think so, yeah, 96.
Yeah, 96
Came out in
within
December
a year or
of
two.
96.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so goofy, so silly. I really enjoy it. Like I said, I'm a Tim Burton fan.
It's okay.
So.
Wasn't too bad.
What about you, Nick? Anything?
I don't. We have more friends, I think, that follow it more closely, and definitely our dad. But it's hard to like an alien movie without Alien being one
Obviously.
of the
Good
Alien
point.
franchise.
Yeah.
Well, the first,
It's in the
first
title.
two.
Right. Well,
The
sure.
franchise because it's the franchise, but the first two because they're really the only ones worth.
An
checking
alien
out.
that's both scary. The movie is insane. This quality. First two.
Right.
So I don't know. It'd be hard to rule that one out. So I really like that one.
If we're going goofy, I'll throw in Paul. I thought Paul was pretty good.
That is a good one.
The comedy aspect, yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely make that work.
If we're going The Watch.
Oh,
God,
Goofy
and
for
I know we
Watch.
mentioned that with I think the police buddy comedy. I think we talked about it somewhere.
We talked
in there.
about that. We also talked about it with this episode. We were going to watch it for this one, but I thought it fit in a little bit better
Right.
with the goofy.
And we'll have to
alien
do
comedies.
a whole episode about that because God, The Watch is to me is so good.
I think it'd be good to do Watch and Paul, and some other good alien comedy movies.
Another alien movie don't really care for? E.T.
I'm
I'm
with
not
you.
an E.T. fan.
I know it's.
I agree with you, but I think I'm gonna rewatch it.
I think I have to. When I saw it, I was too young to maybe appreciate
I agree. I'm on the same track as
the
Tyler.
emotional aspects because it's pretty big in pop culture. Like E.T. is.
I mean the imagery of E.T. and him on the bike in the moon. That is like what Amblin Entertainment.
Yeah,
Whatever. I mean that is on his logo, his production company's
He's pretty
logo.
proud of it.
That's true. Yeah,
So
I forgot about that.
he's proud of it. It earned him an Oscar nomination. I'm gonna have to just check it out. I'm a huge Spielberg fan, and I get a lot of shit for not liking that one.
I do too. Yeah, a lot of people hate me for that. But
Yeah.
I just have no problem with it. I'm okay bashing it.
I'll definitely give it another chance, but I've never been one to really push E.T. on people.
I like The Thing, John Carpenter's
I was
The
just
Thing.
thinking
Is
that.
that technically an alien movie?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
aliens. It's one that doesn't dive into their the aliens themselves. It's definitely all on.
It's scary as shit too.
It is intense, and I love it. The prequel's not too bad, but John Carpenter's original one is
Yeah, and that's
Awesome.
actually based off of a 50s. I think it's like The Thing from Outer Space.
right.
So there's like the one that sticks to more traditional sci-fi 50s stuff, and then John Carpenter made it like sort of a horror element, and it was really awesome. And they made a prequel, and it was all right, but the 1984-85 movie definitely where it's at. So
There's one that I really liked. I can't remember what the name of it is right now. I watched it the first time, and the premise is excellent. And I wish that it could get remade somehow, and just with a bigger budget and people who know what they're doing a little bit more. But the whole premise was this group of like hillbilly friends, and they spend their nights in this field because they got abducted by aliens before, and they're waiting for the aliens to come back. The aliens come back, they capture one and bring it to their other buddy who got abducted, but they actually I don't know if they probed him or whatever, but it was a little more, they experimented on him. They also experimented on someone else, one of the other guys' brothers, but he never made it back. Okay. So kind of like in Independence Day, one of them had a psychic connection to the aliens, So they captured one of the aliens, brought it to that guy's house. He wasn't having it, but since the alien was already there, they couldn't really let him go. The aliens had a power where if they looked into your eyes, they can kind of make you do whatever they want you to do. So they got this alien tied down, and then, they got a mask over his face so he can't look people in the eye. And then he ends up getting out, of course. And so, it's this big thing. The alien's loose in the house, and at one point, it gets this one guy, and you walk into the room, and the camera's on the one guy, and his intestines are hanging out. And the alien's got a hold of one of them, and he's pulling it out of the guy's body, just pulling his intestines out while the guy's still alive. And it's just this scene that I thought was done really well. Really low budget. No actors you would ever recognize, I don't think.
I almost want to check this out.
What was it?
Just the premise of it,
It's a really good premise, and the first time I watched it, I think the idea of the movie outweighed the acting and stuff. And there are a lot of really good moments in that movie, but it is really cheesy. The dialogue is really forced.
sounds like could be a diamond in the rough.
You guys want to know Spielberg alien movie I don't fucking like at all? That I really don't fucking like at all? Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Dreamcatcher's fun.
Yeah, there's an alien movie that sucks.
Okay, I don't hate it, I guess. Awesome, good film, not indie. Just it is not an Indiana Jones adventure. And Sinners, you did not hear Cinamen Justin. He just said Dreamcatcher.
Stephen King. Yeah.
That was an interesting movie as well.
They Live back in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
The
that's
book-
a good one.
Roddy
was better.
Piper, Keith Davidson, John Carpenter film.
John Carpenter film.
It's pretty good for what it is.
I agree.
Definitely enjoy it.
I can
Worth a
dig
shot.
that. If we're gonna talk alien movies, I guess I'm gonna be that guy and say the first Avengers.
Hey, I already
I
said
like
it.
that one.
I already said it.
Oh,
And
did you
it's-
really?
Yeah, I said it like 10 minutes ago.
Oh my god, I missed it.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
Cinnamon Chris.
Sinners, comment on how much you hate me for not listening
Yeah.
to that.
Sinners, tell us.
Sinners, I know we missed a lot of alien movies. Obviously, Hollywood is full of them. This is probably one of the more easier subjects to easily make it bad, but there's also an awesome chance to make it good. So make sure to comment on some of the alien franchises you like.
Yeah,
alien
what did we
movies.
miss that you feel like needs representation?
If we ever do Alien Invasions Part 2, what would you like us to cover?
I think we'll definitely get more into aliens. I mean, there's a lot of ones that we haven't covered. We haven't covered aliens on other. We haven't covered goofy alien,
Right.
They haven't covered when we're the aliens invading another planet.
which is such a good concept.
That is a good concept.
Thinking about it, I don't know many movies like that.
Well, we're going to find them.
Sinners, nobody take our idea.
I guess Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe.
Of course.
Yeah. Justin, cut this out.
Yeah. Cinamen, if you're hearing us right now, you're gonna get cut. If we were live, if we were live and you heard us, we'd probably send people there to unhear.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I wouldn't cut you.
I don't know. I might
Maybe-
prod you once or twice with the sharp end of a knife.
The
Or we'll
brothers
probe
Walter,
you.
they might.
We will
they
probe
might
you,
come for you.
but not sexually.
Not sexual. We're not going to probe you.
Unless there's
Well-
aliens that do that, we'd maybe let them do it. We wouldn't do it, though.
Yeah.
In which case, my address is 78. Just kidding. Don't send them my way.
Don't Google us.
Seriously,
Just find us on Cinamen.
I will find you,
Yeah,
and
Cinamen.com.
I won't cut you. But
Leave some comments.
Sinners, leave some comments on your favorite alien movies. We obviously had a blast
Follow
doing this
us.
one. This was a fun one to do. Real quick before we exit out. Out of
Oh, yes,
10,
yes.
Independence Day 2, Cinaman, Tyler, go.
I'll go Independence Day 1 first. I'll give it an 8,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna go back a step, and I'll probably give number 2 a 7.
Okay.
I am going to agree with both of those. Yeah, first one is so good. I can't even.
It's hard to hate the shit you hate about it. Just because you're like, it is the best example of what it is.
The good is
ultimate
good,
popcorn movie.
and the bad's easy to overlook.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
The acting is pretty solid in that one. Awesome. Effects. The aliens are cool. They're original. It's awesome.
Yeah,
First
number
one,
two.
First one I
definitely
would
had
give an 8 as
number
well.
two had a pretty big fun factor to it. So yeah, I'll give it a 7. I agree.
Cool. Sinners, you've heard it. Cineman's Tyler and Nick. I think this is worth seeing. We urge you to go see it. Help support it. I don't think it's doing super good at the box office, but you can make that happen. Okay, turn that around. So
Or don't go see Finding Dory.
yeah, you can go see whatever you want.
I mean, I don't think Finding Dory really needs your help. I think it's doing just fine.
Tarzan comes out this week. Maybe
what
go see
else?
that.
Disney back at it again, live action.
That's right.
BFG just came out, which
Spielberg.
Jumping into next week's episode, coming out this week, or is it next week? The Purge.
it's already it's out at the time of recording. It'll definitely be out the time you're hearing this.
Awesome. Make sure to
So-
catch our Purge episode. We are really looking forward to this
We're
one.
gonna go through all 3 and tell us what you think about the Purge.
Awesome.
Who would you purge? Don't really tell us that.
Don't tell us that because it might actually happen.
We'll
Yeah.
turn you in if this shit goes out.
The Sinners, make sure to rate, like, subscribe us on iTunes. We're on all major podcasting apps.
We need ratings, reviews. Follow us wherever you follow.
Your
things.
support is what makes this happen. Okay, so we love doing it. We know that you love us doing it, and we love to do it for you because you love it. Like I said. So spread the love, spread the word, get the Cinamen out there. We appreciate all your support. And I don't know. I mean, I guess don't be a dick.
Support the podcast.
Support the shit